Hey, sports fans, and welcome to the Cavalier Sports Report. I'm your host, Shawn Simpson, and joining me in the studio today is a man of nebulous talents, but nonetheless, he is here with me today, John Steffens from our athletic department. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, I question your talents, but obviously you are a man, a myth, and a legend. I understand that you are the popcorn master, the security for umpires at baseball games, and pretty much anything else that anybody needs done. So why don't you tell me what it is that you do?
I work in the concession during the winter sports, and basically I make a lot of the popcorn that's made. I don't make it all, but I make a good portion of it. In baseball, I greet the umpires, put them into their locker room, and take them down to the field, and then I'll shag balls or whatever needs to be done down there. I work the volleyball games, doing whatever needs to be done. And of course, the soccer game, same thing. It's kind of a jack of all trades sort of thing.
Yeah. Now, what do you do during, like for instance, during a soccer game? What's your main
Soccer
role
game,
during
basically,
soccer?
I wait for one of the balls to go over the fence that they've kicked over the, I'm gonna say 15-foot fence instead of the 8-foot goal, and shag the ball, get it back into play to keep things going. They usually have a ball standing by up there, but they need to get that one back up there so they can, in case they lose it again. And
yeah.
So I usually go down and get it from wherever it's at and put it back in.
So you have a pretty good seat for pretty much all the games.
Yeah, it depends on which team's doing the most play, the better play. If you're on the end of the field where there's not much going on, it's kind of boring, but you see a lot of the plays going on.
All right. So tell me about your work in concessions. I know you're actually the concessions coordinator, not of nebulous talents at all. But tell me about what it's like working around the concessions, because that can be a pretty hairy deal.
Sometimes it's slow, and sometimes you cannot keep up. I make popcorn. I try to get the oil and everything heated up ahead of time. It's got to be 450 to pop popcorn. So I try to get at least partially heated and ready to go, so when I pour it in, it's ready to go. But sometimes you run out of the popcorn. I mean, people just keep coming, and it can get pretty tight at times.
Yeah. Now, you obviously you probably didn't go to college and study to be a professional popcorn maker or ball shagger. So tell me about what it was like, or what you were doing before you came here to Johnson County Community College.
Well, I did go to college. Graduated from college. Was going to be a school teacher, but had worked my way through college on the railroad and got back out of the service. Was back during Vietnam, and when I came back out of the service, I ended up staying at the railroad and worked my way up through the ranks and retired as a train master there. Yeah, about 10 years ago.
Okay, so you're a retiree, and you've come back here to grace us with your popcorn making ability, ball shagging ability, and, as I understand it, your comedy ability.
Well, some people appreciate it, some don't.
Well, I've certainly appreciated it as we've been sitting here talking, because I believe you reminded me that I'm from Alabama originally, was born in Alabama. So what was it you were telling me about something that happened at the University of Alabama?
Well, it was Bear Bryant, his widow after he passed away. As a matter of fact, Bear Bryant and Woody Hayes, both, their widows, both moved to Lawrence, Kansas. And they both said that they had never really enjoyed football that much. Surprising as their, husbands have been famous coaches.
Of course.
Never enjoyed football that much, and wanted to move to a town where the college didn't play football. So, I mean, some people, KU fans, don't appreciate that joke, but they all understand it.
It probably hits a little too center of the target.
Yeah. They had a chance here when several years back, but fired their coach. And,
well, biggest, most common phrase spoken in KU athletics is "there's always next year."
Yes, and often spoken.
Well, maybe not for basketball.
No, they've got the basketball team. That's a given.
Well, we know our sports are doing great here, and we know that you are a kind of a fixture among the sports here. and everyone appreciates what you do. I'm sure the umpires appreciate it, what you do out at the baseball field. And John, appreciate you being here, and can't wait to see you out on the fields coming this spring, and look forward to seeing all the teams hitting the fields. Thank you so much for being here.
Look for you out there.
All right. Well, that's it for today. For the whole JCAV team, I'd like to thank our guest, John Steffens. I'm Shawn Simpson, and this has been your Cavalier Sports Report.